Tattletail is an infamous game which as of late has been reappearing. Funny enough, this has to be one of my favorite games of all time. But first the message. We are sinning. While Slammer's the gay min channel is doing a theory video. Also, happy Pride. We wish you a happy and safe Pride. Love always. Anyways, I can assume you've heard about it. But in case you haven't, here's a quick breakdown. So basically you're a kid who wakes on the 20th of December and goes out to find what their present is. Which is before mentioned Tattletail, which is basically a knockoff Furby. After that night, you'll find Mama. She is the antagonist of the game. Long story short, you're hunted and eventually do a ritual to vanquish Mama. And if you didn't get all the Easter eggs, this ending will play. Here. Get ready with me to die.
Time to die. Death comes.
Although, if you get every egg, you'll be rewarded with this ending.
Wait, make sure you have the other egg.
Oh yeah, I collected them all.
Mama jumps out and I'll tell you I told you so.
Present for you.
Oh my goodness, so sweet. You little turd. Delightful, decent Illinois. February 25th, 1998. Each Tattletail is handmade. It looks like, what, 10 months? Yeah, it's 7 months old. Each Tattletail is handmade with love in our US facility.
Yeah, right. Bet my life.
Our beloved, the best thing in the universe, most useless best thing.
A golden spatula.
Golden flashlight, baby. Long-lasting golden flashlight. Oh, bro's about to wake up son.
Hey, go get Mama.
It's actually kind of cool. Anyway, let's go get Mama. End of game. End of game. One last clip. Oh,
Thank you.
jeez, that is bright.
Just got taken to heaven.
This also shows us the weirdest part of the lore. It's in Illinois. Nothing against it, but just kinda odd. Although there is something else. The kaleidoscope. Long story short, it is what most people believe is a therapy session, or something of that sort. Although the gameplay is basically an insane difficulty. So anyways, let's get on to our theory. So my theory is that Tattletail is really about Kübler-Ross's stages of grief. I take German. I really hope that I got that right, because if not, I'm gonna cry myself to sleep. In the first night of this game, our mom isn't there, because when we knock on the door, this is what happens. As we can see, our mother cannot be found here, in her room at night. But here's where it gets really interesting, because the one adult here can be found here. So from this, we could assume that this child has gone through an event that has left their parent dead, or almost have died, if you count the good ending or Easter egg ending as canon. But today we'll be saying that they've died. So the one adult we know about is the mom. So that's our parent. So these first two nights could be denial because the child is trying not to think about the fact that their mother is dead. It clearly doesn't say the deceased mother's room. So I say this has to be the child denying that their parent is dead. Now let's get moving on. So now we're on the anger, or what I like to call the worst part of the game. So what I believe is supposed to represent anger in this case is one night in particular, night 4. Also, night 3 was supposed to be part of the last one, so sorry about that. Night 4 is basically the hardest hide and seek I've ever played. Take a look at this.
That'd be cool.
Come to mama.
There might not have even been batteries. I actually came up and killed you.
And those are only some of them, which I'm still very mad about. So basically, this is just some of the reason why both me and the child want to rip our hairs out of our heads. But I would say that the child is somewhat embodying the mama Tattletail with all of her wrath, which could be themselves trying to stop themselves from admitting that their parent died. With some recurrent themes, Mama seems to be the force working against us in trying to accept her death. Perhaps our own subconscious trying to not put any more guilt on us or trauma. Man, we are on a roll. Okay, so now one of the interesting parts, but least substantial parts of our theory, bargaining, which will be the one that we'll cover the least, unfortunately, because there isn't that much to it. Basically, before our depression, we quote-unquote bargained with the Tattletail. We gathered the materials and the support to help us stop from going into the depression. And with all this work and all this prep, seen here,
Mama's coming.
this will soon be seen, well, it was all for naught, as we'll see in our next part. Depression is represented here as Mama winning, as seen here. Here, get ready with me to die.
Time to die. Death comes.
This, as I see it, symbolizes that the guilt and trauma has set in. Even after all of our support, we couldn't do it, which is truly disheartening. But there is hope. In acceptance. In the kaleidoscope, we see what seems to be a therapy session going on, with our main character going through quite possibly the most difficult part of the game, besides the hide and seek part. Still salty about that. With them finally escaping from Mama.
You'll never escape.
Give me a treat.
I'll always love you.
And with this, they're finally free. They finally accepted what happened. And on the topic of finally escaping, we're gonna have to end it here today because this was a lot to edit. So, well, on that note, we'll be leaving off. Please sub, like, and comment if you enjoyed this. Peace.